everybody. How are you? Welcome to day 2 of getting ready or getting started in Photoshop. I'm Shauna Lynn. This is Teddy Bear, and I'm excited to have you. So I see we've got Noor in the chat. We've got Sean, Carter. Hey, Tim. We've got Dana. How is everyone? Where's everyone tuning in from? You have your coffee? Are you ready to go? Yeah, we have the best studio mate here. This is the best. He's a good boy. Hi, Jose. How are you? Yes, it's Teddy. We have Carter's tuning in from Arizona. Hey, Dee. How are you? Hope all is well. Things are good. How about yourself? Tuning in from Canada. Hi, Mona. How are you? Hi, guys. Hello, hello. Hope Teddy doesn't pause the stream. But he's got the cutest paws. They're multicolored. What are you doing? You want your cookie? Do you want a cookie? Come on. All right, I'm going to put him down. So what we did yesterday, a cookie? I'll give it to you on the floor. How about that? All right. You want a cookie? Okay. All right. So, hi. Welcome. Good morning from Nigeria. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, hello from Brazil. Wow, we got a decent turnout from all around the world. Nice, guys. So yeah, welcome to day 2. We've got a lot of fun things up for you. All of my stuff decided to unlink last night, so I'm fixing it real quick. Okay, so we have a really fun lineup for you today. We have, starting with, obviously, myself, because I'm here, followed by the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge with Kathleen Martin, Photo Compositing with Claudie, the Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge with Claudie, Logo Design with Ben Wagner, the XD Daily Creative Challenge with Howard Pinsky, the Draw Along with Kyle Webster, and the Design Off with Voodoo Val and Delta Tango Mike. So, what we did yesterday, we've been making, we were making a virtual background for video conferencing. So, like, if you didn't know, like in programs like Zoom and such, you essentially can green screen your background. So you could be underwater, you could be in the forest, you could have, Hogwarts behind you. I had a brief period where I was putting Disney scenes behind me. Things that made me happy. And so I figured we would do a video conference background. So we started yesterday with a very rough idea, and I let the chat determine which direction we went. And it was going to be haunted forest, wildflowers, or an animal collage. And most everyone voted for haunted forest. So where we ended up yesterday was this, and you can see it was very rough and wasn't quite done, obviously. But we moved on to color. We're moving on to color today. So I cleaned up the sketch last night, and you can see I didn't draw in a lot of these background elements because I didn't want to overcrowd it. Because I actually don't tend to do a ton of background work. I'm working on it and I'm learning. So I decided to make things a little simpler so my brain could keep everything separate. But so this is where we ended up, and then I'll add in things as we go. But I'm going to start out by focusing on the stuff in the foreground, but I'm also going to lay out a background so I can start playing down color. Hey, Zach. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Bummed I missed yesterday. Well, you should come join more often, Zach, because this is where the cool kids hang out. Nora says, yesterday my niece asked why we're not upside down as we're in the southern hemisphere. That's really cute. Yeah, so I'm using a mix of, I've got a couple of brushes I've made myself, but I'm also going to use a mix of Kyle brushes. So I've got his dry brushes, and I think New Pastel is one of my favorites, and I can't draw on a group layer. Yeah, New Pastel is one of my favorite ones that he's got in this. Pastel Party would work really well too for like coloring in like shading and details and stuff. Like I love something I've been doing for years is like my texture work. I've shied away from doing a lot of texture, but I've always wanted to have texture. And those who don't know, like I'm a hand lettering artist by trade. I've done hand lettering for 10 years. And like you can see my work on my Behance profile, but I've recently transitioned into more like children's book style work where I'm combining illustration and lettering, and then I'm sort of figuring out how to do like what illustration looks like without lettering in my style. I won't lie, it's very intimidating. It's something that I'm not used to doing, and I think it's okay to be vulnerable and say like it scares me. But at the same time, it's also very exciting. It's things that I would not have normally tackled. I wouldn't normally try. So I want to show you guys that like it's possible to do this, and it's possible to learn and continue learning, because I feel like you are never totally done learning in your career. Especially because so many things have changed even since I graduated in 2010 from college. So there's always room to grow. There's always room to improve. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new group. I'm going to go down to the layers panel in the this way, that corner. I'm going to go into the layers panel. I'm going to click this little folder looking icon, and then I'm going to create a new layer with the button next to it, the little plus button. And I'm just going to create a background behind this sketch. So I'm not totally set on my colors yet, but what I do know is I don't want this to be, oh, that's a nice one. Here we go. I don't want it to be too dark because I want the moon to stand out. I want the hazy clouds to stand out, but the trees in the foreground are going to be really dark. They're not going to have a ton of detail. They might have a little bit of lighting on them, but for the most part, they're going to be dark. And keep in mind, like, here's where you are. So drawing out your virtual background, we wanted to make sure that all of the important stuff did not converge in the center. So we're using these trees to frame your head. So that way nothing important really is getting lost in this general area. Ashant, hello, welcome. You did it. You'll post it tomorrow. Do check it out. You designed a virtual background. Awesome. I would love to see it. So when you're creating these, like, generally when you create an illustration, like, you want to have a focal point. In this case, we are the focal point because we're in the center, and you don't want your background to detract from you. So I'm just going to lay down all this color. I'm going to turn off, what layer do I have this on? I just want to be able to see, there we go. I just want to be able to see where my horizon is here. Not cool enough. Everyone starts somewhere. Give yourself some credit. Oh, hey. I chose the same color as my sketch. Oh, no. I'm going to have to change my sketch color. Oh, no. So if I had sent this off to a client, I actually would have switched the colors to just black and white. I would have grayscaled it, because often if you send a color sketch to a client, they, rather than fixating on the overall composition, they fixate on the colors, and they're like, well, those aren't the colors I want. I'm like, I draw in pink and purple for fun. So like you have to keep in mind, like with client work, like if you send it off, you got to grayscale it until you get to the color stage. And if you guys are hanging out on YouTube, I'm reading the Behance chat, so come over to be.net/live to come join us, because I'm I can see the YouTube chat, but I'm not reading it. We're gonna need a greener green. Yeah, it's kind of how I feel right now. Yeah, that's not the color we were going for. Just ignore the colors. I used to send sketches in color, and I learned very quickly that like it's very hard unless your client is very artistic. They don't see the difference. They automatically think that's what the colors are going to be for the piece, and it's like, just don't even put yourself in that situation. And then while we're at it, while we're here, I'm gonna color in my moon just so it's here. I created a new layer to do this, and I may use a different brush later to define it a little bit more. But like, just know that like generally it's gonna look kind of bad. Like everything's gonna look just bad until it starts to refine. Also, I have like an eyelash in my eye and it hurts. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, so I'm going to go on my sketch and I'm just going to double tap on my group here to pull up layer styles. And I'm going to do a color overlay so that I can change the color of my sketch so I can see it. Because ultimately I am going to take this and drop the opacity down. I just need to be able to see it against the blue. So while we're at it, let's add in the ground and stuff here. I think that's gonna have to get a little lighter because I want this to be darker up here. And color is very hard for me. I will be flat out honest. Like, color theory is something that is very hard for me to grasp. So I think Tim might have exhausted his allotment of dad jokes yesterday. Though I will say at the beginning of the chat, I was really excited for how people were posting like Halloween emojis. I'm so ready for Halloween. I walked into the local Walmart the other day to get groceries, and all the Halloween candy's out now, and I'm just like, oh. I don't think if we didn't get any trick-or-treaters last year. It snowed on Halloween. We got 2 feet of snow, or a foot of snow or something. I shoveled the driveway twice to make sure that the kids could walk up and get candy, and not one child showed up. I was not happy. Since I have no sense of direction, I packed my things in right. Oh my god. Color theory is really just having a large swatch library, right? That's what it feels like sometimes. I'm just like, I'll just add color until it works. Am I on an eraser? Oh, I'm on clear. That's why. Okay. There we go. And I think I might desaturate these a bit more as we go. But that's the beauty of it, is I can just change the colors as we go throughout this, as you know. Because I can already tell I think this needs to be desaturated a bit. But this shade of green I do really like. It's a nice olive tone. I almost wonder, after I've done all this, I wonder if Kyle's gouache would look better in this instance. think it would. All right, I'm going to turn off this layer and I'm going to keep it just in case. But I think I'm going to try Kyle's gouache for this. And it's the gouache wet round that I'm using. Just will fill the color a bit better. The fun thing is you guys are going to get to see me think in real time. The bad thing is you guys are going to get to see me think in real time, and I make a lot of changes and choices as I go. But what are you guys up to? Any fun projects you're working on? Anyone decide to make a background yesterday? What's the shortcut for brush properties? I don't know the shortcut, but you can go to Window, Brush Settings, and that will bring it up. And then you'll get this dialog. I am working on a Cintiq, yes. Yeah, I have it just below here, so. I used to have it sitting much lower, and then I realized that for the sake of the health of my neck and shoulders, that I had to raise it up. So I have a Game of Thrones tarot set that's underneath the stand, propping it up a bit further. Yeah, I like that because it gives it a little bit more texture than this is. It's a little too flat. So I'm going to go back in and I'm going to color that as well. Let's see. Whoop. I need a layer. New layer. There we go. Good, because a Rider Waite deck would be too fancy. Part poet, part wolf. Oh yeah, that behind that's by and they're stunning. It took about a month and a half for it to arrive, but it was totally worth it. Especially because she got, I think, just flooded with orders, but she's got these big tote bags that I want too. What is the tower card in the Game of Thrones deck? I don't know actually. I'll have to look that up later. Remind me in Slack, Zach, because I'll look. just debating whether I should draw a broken drum for the background. You can't really. I love Tim's bad humor. Now that I've completely ostracized everyone with my tarot questions, I love tarot. I don't read it well, but I like it. I pull cards for myself almost every morning to kind of give myself a basis for my day. My current go-to deck is this one from Katie Daisy, a Wild Offering Oracle. It's a little more religious, but I like the base of it. Plus the cards are stunning. Okay, now I'm going to fill in the spot that I missed. I'm kind of liking these really saturated colors, actually. I didn't think I was going to like them, but I'm kind of feeling the saturation. What do you guys think? I do not know what the Joe Sparrow deck is. Hi, Khalid. How are you? I have the tattoo deck, and I have one by, what is it called? I don't remember what it's called. It's a really beautiful deck. It's gold and white. And that one I got from a shop in Michigan. You never watched a Game of Thrones. That's okay. It took me, I think I had to watch it 5 or 6 times to actually understand everything that was going on. Go up, you can do it. You can do it. Go on. Go up. He gets nervous at his stairs. Go on. You can do it. You can do it. Use your back legs. Go on. Go up, Teddy. Golden Throne. Oh, nice. The one I got, no, not Golden Throne. Go on. You can do it. You can do it. This might be too light. Hold on, let me put him on the bed because he's stressing himself. Go on. Go on. You can do it. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Come on. Here's your cookie. Sorry. I didn't put him up there. He was just gonna tap up and down his stairs for the next 20 minutes because sometimes he gets intimidated. Sometimes he's fine, and other times he gets really intimidated, and I'm not totally sure why. Because he's had those stairs for 2 years now. But apparently dogs don't know that their back legs exist. So to them it's it's a completely separate entity. Thanks, Dina. Yeah, I'm trying to see how we can have you guys kind of guide things today, but I want to at least lay down these base colors and then we can go from there. Hi, Ingrid. How are you? No, he just wanted to be on his bed. He's got a set of stairs to get up there, and every now and then he can't, something glitches in his brain and he can't figure out how to do them. Okay, so if I turn off the sketch, let's see what this looks like. I don't hate it. Hi, Ariana. How are you? Hi, Sean. Probably because dogs have 2 left feet, or he was terrified. Tim has a gift. Okay, now I want to do like, so for this section here, I think I want to do more of a brown because it's obviously it's underground. So I'm gonna just kind of pull this till I get like a brown color. And then because we're going a little more saturated, let's try that and see how this looks against it. You guys can't hear my music, but what I'm listening to sounds like Epcot, and I'm kind of here for it. But I listen to music because I can't work in complete silence. It drives me nuts. So I either am listening to like TV shows that I've watched 1,000 times, or podcasts, audiobooks, or music. Generally, if it's something where I need to, concentrate, and I need to concentrate like hard. I can't do audiobooks and I can't do podcasts because I want to listen to what they say. I don't want them to just be white noise. So that's when I'll do music or TV shows that I've watched 1,000 times. Amanda says, I didn't know I needed dad jokes with my coffee this morning until I clicked on this stream. I don't do good dad jokes. That's not my gift, but Tim brings the gold. Also, I had this idea yesterday for this little thing called Adobe's, and it'd be a little bee, and we'd be little Adobe's, like a hive of bees that use Adobe. And I kind of think I'm gonna make it a real thing, and I kind of want to make it like a sticker. So I have to run it by the Adobe crew and see what they think, because I really want to make it happen. I mean, think how cute would that be? Okay, and then under here it can be a little lighter. I'm going to take it a little more saturated, a little lighter here. That's better. I mean, if we're going to go saturated, we're going to go saturated. If you don't know what saturated is, it means just very deep color. Versus unsaturated, which is more of a gray color. My go-to background TV shows are Charmed and Vampire Diaries, says Dana. Yeah, mine currently is Rain. I've just been listening to that because I've watched that 1,000 times, and it doesn't take much for me to concentrate. But there's like, I hit a certain point where I can't listen anymore because I don't like the later seasons. My other go-to used to be Law and Order. Actually, I used to watch Law and Order like crazy. But I like listening to true crime shows, so I'll listen to that. Like 2020, I'll listen to. Zach says, I can't listen to music while I work. I apparently start timing my keyframes and animations to the beat. Oh no, that's not good. That's like I can't, like if I'm doing lettering, a lot of times I can't talk and letter at the same time, because I've been known to either start lettering what I'm saying or saying what I'm lettering. Like, so it's very hard for me to teach workshops and stuff because I can't like multitask my brain and my speaking. Tim says, my favorite joke, what do you call a bee that eats other bees? Hannibal Nectar. Oh my god. I didn't hate the later seasons, but like they just weren't as good as the early seasons. So good. The actress from Anne of Green Gables movies is so good in that. I forgot her name. I don't know who that is actually. The actress that plays Susan in the Narnia movies is in rain. Have I watched Perry Mason yet? Beth and I are halfway through, and I think it hit that true crime itch. I have not. I should add that to my list. Megan Follows. Yes, Megan Follows is a gem. Okay, I'm gonna draw the moon back in, but do I want to, like I said, guys, you're gonna watch me like think out loud and think live. No, I think I want to make this look like pencil. So I'm gonna use, let's do this one and let's see how this looks. Ingrid says, greetings from the Philippines. Welcome to the stream. Right now we're laying out colors. We created this Zoom background yesterday. We sketched it out. I refined the sketch off stream, but there's a lot of stuff in the background that I didn't refine out because I didn't want it to get overly busy with my brain, because it's very hard to tell things apart. So we will be adding those in as we go. And then once this is done, if we don't finish this on stream today, because we have, wow, it's already been a half hour. We are kicking it today. I will finish it afterwards, and then you just follow my Behance, which you can get in the info tab. I'm just going to assume I'm pointing the right direction this way. This way. There's an info tab that way, and you can follow my Behance account, and I will post it there. And I will also post it to my social media for you guys to download and use. I don't know why, but this drawing makes me think of Creedence's song, Graveyard Train. I hear it while I'm watching Greetings from Costa Rica. I've not heard that song before. I'm going to have to add that to my list. I love music so much. A lot of the art I do is very influenced by music. There's this one piece by, I can't remember, John Cochran, I think. It's called Goodbye Pork Pie Hat, and it's a jazz song, and it immediately puts me mentally, like my brain immediately thinks of like 1940s Brooklyn. It's so good, and I want to create a piece based off of it. Also the Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, which I always play when we go on the boat. Okay, this needs to be more of a white. And these clouds I will probably change. I just want to block them in so that they're there. And actually, now that I've done that, I think I'm going to make them darker. Because if you think about it, if they're against the moon, they're not going to be bright. So I'm selecting that color, and then I'm going to take it down. And I might be able to go darker. I'll adjust levels and stuff once we get stuff going, because I think the next thing I want to do is focus on the gravestones and then the trees. Is anyone drawing along? Are you guys doing your own backgrounds? Because it's fun. Oh, he's from Nigeria. Is your name Raymond? Or is it Adelie? Welcome to the stream. Sorry if I butchered your name. All right, I'm going to turn the sketch off just to see what this is looking like so far. And what's going to happen is, like, as I add in more texture and stuff, you're not going to see as much of this banding that's happening as it overlays. In theory, I probably could have used a larger brush, but that's what it was. Charles Mingus. I was like trying to figure out who it was. Goodbye Pork Pie Hat is by Charles Mingus. Yeah, there's a version of it. There's several versions, and there's one in particular by Charles Mingus that I really like because it starts out really like just very flowy and solemn. Amanda says, I'm going to start one this weekend for a teacher friend of mine that wants something custom for her French class. This is helpful. Awesome. Well, and the fun thing too is, like, if you use the basic idea, like, you could do a cute little border. Like, it doesn't have to be a full scene. Like, it could just be a border of something. I just thought it would be fun to do a full scene because I like to make things really hard for myself. Your drawing takes me back to my childhood. Aw. I'm trying to get to a point where I'm okay with things like looking terrible until they don't. Because there's always, like, I think any artist will tell you, there's always like an ugly stage where things just, it looks unfinished and you have to push through it. And it's not fun, but once you push through it, it's better and it's fine. So let's pop over to these gravestones. I'm using a brush that I made called This Will Be Good for Something, and it's just like, it's really a nice crunchy texture. There are similar ones in Kyle's brush pack. His Conte ones work really well for this. And then I'm going to use, let's use this light. So I'm just going to block in the shape. And then if you need to define anything, Graves key. Wrong way. This key is in the top left corner of your keyboard. Hold it down, use your brush as an eraser. You love this drawing. Thank you. That makes me feel better. I'm hoping it turns out. I have hopes, but I also tend to overdo drawings. Like, I overdo it before I pull it back, and a lot of this is I'm learning and pushing and trying to improve my skills. And actually, while I'm at it, this layer ended up being just a little too light. So I'm just going to do a layer style on it, and I'm going to change the color and just bring it up just a little bit so it's not so stark. Just American keyboards. I'm not sure where it is on other keyboards. On my keyboard, it's on the top left corner. Zach, what? What? Yeah, it's a thing, and it's awesome, and I learned it from Tim. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to essentially like lay down color, and then I'm going to carve out my shape. The shortcut is not available on every keyboard unless you change the keyboard layout in your operating system. Good to know. Good to know. Have anyone else been having like insane sinus issues? I think we're in the I think the transition up here is starting where it's going from summer to fall, but it's not fall yet, and it's still hot. But like I think I'm feeling like the pressure changes because I've been waking up every morning with pain in my face. Hi Jason, welcome to the stream. And save your work as you go, unless you're using the cloud save, which I'm not. Zach says, I'm going to need a time machine that can go back about 12 years so I can shave a couple hours back from all the time I spent switching to the eraser and selecting the same gosh darn brush. So you know what I used to do, actually? Hi, Alberta. Welcome. What I used to do is, because if you go up to the brush panel, or you have the brush select, you go up here to the mode, you can change your mode to clear, and that also makes it an eraser. And before I knew about that shortcut, I would save one brush as a normal brush, and then I would copy that brush and save it as a clear brush, and I would go back and forth between like a clear brush and the normal brush. And that was my way around it. And this is now like holding down the key has saved so much time off my daily everything. We're going to pop over here. We're going to color this one in. Now, Steve says, now I have Charles Mingus on in the background. Goodbye, pork pie hat. Yes. I love a good jazz song. I have a whole playlist of jazz music. If you've not listened to Pat Metheny Group, I highly recommend them as well. Specifically, Last Train Home at the Holidays. That's my favorite. But yeah, no, I love a good jazz piece. There's one called Lost in New York by Matt Ray. Unfortunately, I can't get it on Spotify, which makes me sad because I love that piece. All right, so now I'm going to erase to get my shape. I'm going to rotate my canvas, pressing R, and then erase. Because why make things hard on yourself when you can rotate your canvas and make things easy? And then to like, if you want to just, you can either hit R and reset view, or you can hit escape and it'll write your canvas again. You didn't even know about the clear option. The clear option I did not learn until a few years ago when Kyle Webster was talking about it. He mentioned it and I was like, I was like, that's the coolest thing ever. And it's really nice because if you're working with something that's super textured and you want to retain that texture, oh, I'm hitting the wrong key. No wonder it wasn't working. Like, it lets me keep that if I have to erase anything, and it's so nice. So nice. Sinus trouble. Find one of those Listerine tabs. It'll clear you up, or chomp on a jalapeno. I'll take the former. Yeah, I can definitely feel it because I'm like stuffy. And I'm just like, and this is a yearly thing that I'm used to. I wake up and I'm like, not again. This is not fun. I'm going to make this one back here just a hair darker just to give it some depth. And this is stuff too that, after the stream, what I have to finish, colors may change. So don't be surprised if this ends up looking nothing like what we're doing on stream. I was watching Anna Davis Court's stream the other day, and she did this really cool color mapping thing where she had multiple options where she like just laid down color to see what looked best, and like that's goals for me. I would love to figure out how to do that and be that confident with color. Steve says, Pat Metheny story. Was in Montreal to see his concert and it was summer. My mate says, hey, look at this crazy guy running down the sidewalk barefoot. Hey, that's Pat Metheny. Oh, how funny. What do we say to the god of annual allergies? Not today. If anyone's a fan of music, I had where I went to college, I originally went for opera, and there were voice teachers there, and I'm a fan of Yanni. I love his music. He is one of the few artists who, if they come to town, I will see them in concert regardless of what their music is, because they put on such a good show. And he had this. I saw him years ago on tour, back when he was doing his ethnicity album, and there was this singer, Michelle Amato, who just has this fantastic voice. And so my freshman year of college, I happened to be looking at the voice instructor list, and I see Michelle Amato, and I go, hold up. So I asked my voice teacher, I was like, is that the Michelle Amato that toured with Yanni, Michelle Amato? And she goes, yeah. I was like, in Jacksonville, Florida? Like, of all the places? So I got to meet her, which was really fun. And I called my dad. I was like, you're never going to guess who I met. And then we also had a guy teaching jazz who toured with Pat Metheny Group. He was part of the Pat Metheny Group at one point. So, like, it's very weird. It's very weird, but it was very cool. Okay, so I forgot the little spire things here. We're just going to quickly paint these little guys in. So I'm going to take the opacity down just a little bit so I can see. You guys can't really see that, I think. Take it down so you can see the sketch. And Eddie says, this is looking great. Thank you. I'm going to create a clipping mask. So what this is going to let me do is to create a new layer, and you can either right click and choose create clipping mask, or you can hold down the Alt key, go between your layer, and create a clipping mask. What this is going to do is let me, it would work if I used a different color. I can draw within my layer, and if I clip it to the layer, it keeps it within that layer. So we are going to, I'm going to delete that stuff. So we're going to go in and we're just going to trace around using that darker color. And I'm just using a hard pencil brush. Kyle's Conte pencil works very well in this instance. And I'm just going to trace down. And what I'm going to do for this part here is I'm going to create a different layer so that when I go across, it creates, it doesn't get locked into there. So what will happen is I'll do this so it sits on top. And I can already see that I might have to, actually no, that looks fine. Cool. I'm always very fascinated by like how colors interact. Like you could have the same gray next to itself, but if you have that gray on a white background, that gray on a black background, it's gonna look like two different grays, and it's the same color. It's a fun mind game. Anyone have any fun plans this weekend? Are you gonna like, I know like everyone's pretty limited on where they can go and what they can do, but see if you can do any like fun plans at home. If we don't go on the boat, my plan is to, I created a lettering course and I have to just finish a little bit of content for it. It's already live and people have been taking it, but I have a few things that I need to add more content to. So I'll be working on those. And I have a friend who's having a baby, so I need to send her baby shower gift out probably I have to send it out by Saturday so that it gets there by next weekend. Because with the postal service delays, I'm gonna have to like priority mail it. So that's my weekend. Might go to Whole Foods. relative colors, possibly. That could be what it is. Would you believe I've never actually had a color theory class, which is why I struggle so hard. But in all my years that I've been drawing, I've never had a color theory class. And so now I'm trying to learn it. And it's not easy. It's not easy, guys. All right. I'm going to do this one too, just because I'm already here. And this one, I might need to go in and darken this this layer just a little bit where I'm adding these details, but we'll see once I bring the opacity up. And then we're gonna do this one. And I drew a moth, but like, what should we draw here? Because like I have a moth, but I think it could be something different. I will take suggestions. Alberto says, I had way too many color theory, color appreciation, and psychology of color. Oh, there's probably a happy medium in there. That's why I use Adobe Color and Photoshop. Yeah, I pull color palettes from Adobe Color, which used to be Adobe Cooler, which was I've been using for years. But yeah, I can do based off like color palettes, but even then I change a lot of things. No moth, do a bee. Yeah, we should do the Adobe. Gonna do artistic stuff like painting in Photoshop this weekend. Do it. All right, let's do the bee. Little stinger. Alright, let's take the opacity up, see how these look. Okay, that bee is really cute. What about a crow? Crow could work. Actually, this color works on this one because it's supposed to be receded back, so it's not going to be super dark. So now let's go to this layer and just start adding in our little bit of blocking here. I'm gonna rotate. And I'm going to add in a little texture in just a moment using another clipping mask. And it's going to be a clipping mask set behind this layer. Crow sitting on a headstone. Okay. You talking like Kathleen. Here lies Farmer Ted. He's not really a farmer. I always love, if anyone's ever been to the Haunted Mansion in Disney or Disneyland, they have all these tombstones. And they've got like rhyming ones. They've got like Master Gracie laid to rest. Please leave no mourning at his bequest or something like that. Like they do all these rhyming ones, and it's there's some really like clever ones. All right, so I'm gonna create a new layer on top of this, and it's gonna automatically clip because I did it in between. And so I'm gonna select this color. I'm gonna take it just slightly lighter, and I'm gonna take a pencil. See if Kyle has a good perfect pencil basic. Let's see. Gonna make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, and then I'm just gonna do a bunch of like swirls and stuff, and it might be hard to see, but it's just very light. Like I don't want to get too Would Rough Rowdy work better? No, but I like that. Oh, that's nice. I'm going to just save that for later. What's Rough Sketch? Rough Sketch I think might be a better fit for this. Yeah, Rough Sketch is a better fit. It's a haunted cemetery, not a alien cemetery. It's a haunted forest. Yeah, there we go. So there's like no rhyme or reason to this. I'm just drawing random squiggles. And now that I've done this one can be darker. So select and delete. We're going to select the color. Go just a hair lighter. There we go. That's better. Okay, so there's our stones. So I'm gonna turn off the sketch real quick, just see where we're at. We have about 25 minutes left. So this won't get done today, but we're gonna go for it still. So let's create a new layer. I'm gonna do the trees. And I'm gonna use a rough brush again, and I don't wanna use black. So I'm gonna pull from here, and then I'm just gonna go to like a really dark gray navy. And we're just gonna start coloring these in. Zach says, my office is primarily decorated in Mickey Mouse and Haunted Mansion. That's something I can get behind. Eddie says, my office has nothing in it because I don't like random conversations. Oh, you don't want like people randomly coming in and being like, so tell me about this thing here. I get it. I was remote back in the before times. My old apartment, I didn't have a whole lot of room for a studio, so like I didn't have a ton of decoration. I had just like stuff on the walls. And here I am using half of a bedroom, and I have it more decorated, but not as much as I would like. So I'm looking forward to the day that I have a place that I can just like go crazy and decorate how I wish, because I probably will get some Haunted Mansion stuff for it. There's also a cute little like art piece I saw, and it looks like a doorbell, and it says press for champagne, and I want that. Unfortunately, champagne does not come with it, but you know. It'd be pretty awesome if it did. Anyways, but I do have like, I've got prints by various artists. There's like a ledge here, so there's a bunch of let me see if I tilt it up. Yeah, it's like I've got prints and things up there. I've got all kinds of things. That tree works with this texture. Nice. Thanks. Yeah, so what it'll do is it'll be very, very rough looking. We'll see how this goes. Like I said, I'm sort of going off the cuff. I have no idea how this is going to turn out. I have an idea in my head of how I'd like it to look, but I'm not sure if it's necessarily, like, if my skills have caught up to what I see in my head. Which is also a pretty normal thing in my world. But it's still fun, and it'll look fun behind someone on a Zoom background. And what I will probably do after we're done with everything is I'll go in and I'll probably just add some like very, very loose lines, but I don't know if it'll need it. We'll see. It depends, you know, we'll play it by ear, and it may be that I just darken this. Do I have a layer with head outline so we can see focal points in overall layout soon? Maybe. I don't have one, but what I've been doing is I've just been like doing this where I'm like, this is where my head is. It's not like, it's not pretty. This looks like the scene in Charlie Brown where Snoopy pops out of the pumpkin patch. There he is. There he is. It's the Great Pumpkin. Sorry, guys. Anyways, so yeah, like that's kind of where you'll be, which is why we have things framing it. Sean says I use museum rails so I can change all photography whenever we're on. That's a good idea. Zach says I want to animate when this is done. I will send you the file, my dude. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. Oh my god. I gotta turn that off. I can't do it. I'm so sorry. The keyhole of death. That's the wrong brush. There we go. Okay, I'm back. I gotta compose myself. I'm sorry. The real Great Pumpkin is the friends we made along the way. In movies, this is called corpsing for real. Is it really? Like when someone just starts laughing? Or when the actor just loses it laugh? Oh, that's funny. Isn't that ironic? I always love watching like SNL and stuff to watch the actors when they like are trying really hard not to lose it. Save that layer for whenever you need to laugh. Oh, I did. It's there. When I finish this tree, I'm gonna see about doing just like doing the foreground here, doing this down here so it doesn't look so rough. because I'd like you guys to see kind of what it'll look like as I progress further with it. I wish I had like 5 hours with you guys because I could get it done, but I don't. I'm trying really hard to not laugh again. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's kind of what happened. I turned on and I start laughing again. I don't know why it's so funny. It just is. If anyone is hanging out in YouTube, I'm reading the chat over in Behance. So come over to be.net/live and ask questions there because that's where I'm answering them. All right, we've got. There was if anyone's seen the Chris Farley van down by the river skit, that one's funny because all the actors are sitting there and you can see them trying not to laugh. They do a lot of like this so that they don't get caught laughing. The trees do frame up the focal point nicely. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like generally in an illustration like this, if I weren't doing this for Zoom, and I were doing like a lettering piece, the focal point, would be here. And I could do lettering in this area, or there'd be like a little character or something right here or what have you. But because it's going to be our head and I'm not turning layer on because I will lose it, we want to make sure that we don't have anything important here in the center so that like you don't lose anything. Because generally when you're in a Zoom call, you're not like, hey, look at this. You know, you're pretty centered, you're talking, and so what we want around it is to frame it. I did not know yet that Chris Farley had my time, so I got 10 minutes before I got to start wrapping everything up. So guys, do make sure that you stick around today. We have a fantastic lineup. Let me pull up the schedule one more time just while we're here, while I'm thinking about it. So we have myself followed by the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge with Kathleen. We have photo compositing with Claudie, Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge with Claudie, logo design with Ben Wagner, the XD Daily Creative Challenge with Howard Pinsky, draw along with Kyle T. Webster, whose brushes I've been using today, and the design off with Voodoo Val and Delta Tango Mike. So definitely make sure that you stick around, because it's a fantastic lineup today. You're gonna learn a lot of really cool things, and hopefully like you learned something here. You know, this is getting started in Photoshop. This is just showing you how I approach illustrating with Photoshop. How do you open a GIF file while preserving the movement? Let's say I want to crop out objects from that GIF and save it again. I'm going to be honest, I can't say I've done that. I feel like there's probably a way to do it, but you might have to do that in... I wonder if you could do something like that in like After Effects or something. I don't know. Someone might have a better answer than me. I don't really create a lot of GIF files. And when I do, they're very, 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 very simple. Alberto says, open it in Photoshop, change the size on canvas, and export as a GIF again. And timeline. Hi, Kathleen. Welcome back. Kathleen's up next, and she's awesome. Thank you. And thank you. It's Kyle Webster brushes plus my brushes. I'm bummed because I'm not going to be able to get it done on stream today, but we're going to, we're doing our darndest. And with the tree, I just drew in really random branches. I found recently that apparently not everyone can do this, but like I can unfocus my eyes. And when I'm trying to draw something without focusing too much on things, I will unfocus my eyes as I'm drawing so it looks blurry. And then I just start drawing. Hi, Cody. How are you? But so like if I unfocus my eyes, I almost get a little faster because I'm focusing less on the shape itself. Kyle Webster today announced a charcoal brush for both Photoshop and Fresco. I did see that. I saw that and I want to try it because it looks like fun. So let's see where this is at. We've got, keep an eye on the clock. Focus, unfocus, eyes, welcome, Mike Green. You know what's funny is I don't get migraines from that. Like but I also didn't realize it was a thing that not everyone could do until recently. But like if I need to focus on, concentrate and stuff, I just like, I kind of unfocus my eyes as I'm working, and I don't know why it helps, but it does. I think it's just a habit I've had for years. But it also, like, it'd be like if I took my glasses off, or I've got contacts in. If I took my contacts out, what I would see is, like, your focus more is the overall shape, not the individual pieces. So it's interesting. It's like, it's an interesting thing, but like I can't work without glasses on or without contacts in because my eyesight is terrible. So, but unfocusing my eyes does allow me to see something as more of a shape versus focusing on the details and things. Can anyone else unfocus their eyes? Because like that's, like I said, I thought everyone could do it. Ariana says, I started doing it when I was a kid so I could see those magic eye hidden pictures. I think that's why I like did it, because it was hard to focus on 1,000 things at once, because those magic eye pictures used to give me headaches. And like the finding ones where you had to like search the image for like this and that and that and the other. I could not do those because I would get headaches. Tim says, hi, I thought I was the only one who can do that without squinting their eyes. Yeah, like you could squint your eyes, but like that doesn't work for me. I can just like, unfocusing is fun. Hello, Joelle. How are you? Ariana says, I unfocused my eyes sometimes too. Glad I'm not the only one. John says, thank you for the last minute tips. I'll finish with these into tutorials before I try to build Rome. Good idea. Yeah, don't overdo don't baby step your way into things. There's nothing wrong with that. I can, but I wear glasses. Meditation method. I can too. Am I okay? Yeah, like it's and Cody says she can too. Zach says he can. Yeah, I think it like there's nothing wrong with being able to focus your eyes. I think it helps. I do it. I do it unconsciously, like subconsciously. I don't think about doing it. I just do it, and then I realize I've like unfocused my eyes for the last 20 minutes. It hasn't made my eyesight worse, so we're gonna run with it. All right, we got 3 minutes before I start winding things down. I still have like a few more minutes after that. I just like to be on time. So if you have any last questions, this is the time to do it. Time to ask. Steve says, and now I'm playing Pat Metheny Letter from Home. I like Minuano from Pat Metheny. That's a really good one. I need anti-rad glasses. I have computer glasses I wear. I've got those blue light ones. I don't wear them as often as I should. But I also got new contacts in the last few months that help with eye fatigue. I can't remember why, but they're made in such a way that they are supposed to help with eye fatigue. Which I'm not sure is necessarily a good thing because now I'm at the computer more. All right, let me finish this guy real quick, and I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to even out the branches so it's got that really cool shape. And ultimately, I need to get better at these trees because I really like them and they're a lot of fun to draw. But they're one of those where there's a lot of content in them, and it's figuring out to where I don't overdo it, but I don't underdo it. Anyone buy those yellow solar ones for the computer? I don't have the solar ones. I just have blue light ones. I can feel the breeze hitting these branches and listening to the creaks and cracks. If anyone has their music up and ready, there's a song called Grim King of the Ghosts, and I think that would fit really well with this. If you want if you want creepy ambiance. Okay, so I am going to turn off the sketch. So what I'm going to do, you've got two options for this, is you can either do a layer mask, which is this square with a circle in it. So you can either do a layer mask, and I'm going to increase the size and then just paint it in. And then that way you still have your original tree layer if you decide you want to change the shape of it later. Or you can erase. I'm going to use the masking method for now. But when I was sketching, I used the erase method. And then if I disable this, you'll see what it looked like. Enable it. You get a good idea. So now I'm just gonna, there's a lot still to do in this drawing, but I'm gonna go down to this layer. I wanna go to this guy, and I'm just gonna start painting in some darker colors. I'm just gonna play with the hue here, and was that one that I liked so much? Rough Rowdy, I think is what it was. And it was Rough Rowdy Tilt, I think, that I was like, this was a really nice brush. Oh, I have my brush tilted too much. There we go. So guys, I have had so much fun. We've got a few more minutes before I have to sign off for the day. But I really appreciate you guys showing up and joining me. It was a blast. go a little darker here. And just like adding on a little bit of texture just takes this just a step further in terms of how it looks. It just starts to add in a little bit more. It's gonna look really cool, I think, when it's done. And then what I'll do afterwards, just so you guys see, is I will draw in grass so that it kind of overlays this stone a little bit. I might add in like a moss look on it, like there's stuff growing on it. Like there's a lot of options here. A lot of options, but I think it's going to be really fun when it's done. But don't be afraid to like really play with your composition and really push things. That's the wrong layer. Where was I? I was here. Ariana says, I can't wait to see the finished piece. Yes, I will post it to Behance when it's done. I'm hoping I can take some time today to finish it up. If not, it'll be done in the next couple days. And I have 2 minutes. Can I turn on layer 27? I have no idea where layer 27. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Nora says your artists and watching you draw and paint is so relaxing. Thank you. Ingrid says, thanks, ma'am, Shauna, for sharing. Really appreciate it. Okay, I'm just gonna stop at this point. We're gonna say our goodbyes. Guys, thank you so much. So much for joining in. I had a lot of fun. This is where we got to. I will follow up on Behance and on my and on Twitter with the final. And Zach, I will send you the final if you decide you want to try animating this when it's done. Yeah. I hope you guys had fun. I can't wait to see what you make. I think it's going to be a really fun time. Like, tweet them at me because I would love to see them. Yeah, I would love to see them when you're done. So don't be afraid to share them with me. Like, I want to see them. I want to see what you make. So I hope you guys had a fantastic time. I did too. Stay tuned for the next session with Kathleen and the other streamers for the day. It's going to be a fantastic time. Thank you so much for joining me. I had a blast. Have a good Thursday. Bye.